Urgent. Precise. You find it. A series of undisclosed transfers moving thousands of dollars into an unknown account right before a divorce filing. In financial forensics, this is the exact moment of discovery you look for. But in a courtroom, a discovery can evaporate in seconds. Pointing out a suspicious transfer on a spreadsheet means nothing if opposing counsel can question the origin of the data. Traditional financial discovery relies on manual data entry or basic cloud software. These methods naturally sever the link between your final analytical report and the original bank statement. A single transcription error, one misplaced decimal point from a tired paralegal, gives the opposing side the leverage they need to have the entire exhibit dismissed. A financial finding without an unbroken, mathematically verifiable chain of custody is not a fact, it is hearsay, and hearsay will not survive cross-examination. To solve the admissibility problem, professional-grade software architecture relies on three strict pillars. First, you must completely isolate the raw data from central network discovery threats. Second, you must replace algorithmic guesswork with a rigid, rules-based extraction process. Third, you must provide absolute mathematical proof that the underlying evidence was never altered after it was initially uploaded. We are going to reverse engineer a formal allegation of hidden assets using the Thrive Financial platform. By tracing a single claim backward, we can reveal the secure, local-first architecture required to turn an accusation into a documented fact. These three pillars establish the baseline for admissibility. They ensure that once a finding is surfaced, it rests on a foundation specifically designed to survive a legal challenge. A divorce engagement begins at a chaotic baseline. You are handed thousands of pages of unsorted, unstructured bank statements, tax returns, and digital payment logs. Before any analysis can occur, someone has to turn those pages into clean, structured data. This manual data prep creates a massive human bottleneck. Thrive Financial solves this volume problem without sacrificing factual accuracy by using a deterministic engine. Inside the deterministic engine, every record is parsed, normalized, and stripped of internal transfers to prevent double counting. Data then runs through the bank deposit method, sorting total deposits into distinct ledgers to compare against reported income. This strict mathematical sorting is entirely different from generative AI. A generative model is never allowed to invent or assume a financial transaction in this workflow. Because the deterministic engine follows absolute mathematical rules, its output is a reproducible source of truth. It yields analysis based on evidence, not an algorithmic guess. Look at this finalized claim, highlighting a $10,500 transfer with no disclosed destination. To meet the evidence-first hierarchy, the software draws an unbroken line backward to its exact origin, page 3, line 14 of a Chase bank statement. The original source file is preserved exactly as it was uploaded. It sits one click away from the finding that cites it. The software then parses sworn claims against this underlying evidence. Viewing this interface, you can see the structured breakdown of declared figures extracted directly from the uploaded affidavits. This side-by-side verification allows the human expert to instantly cross-reference a spouse's sworn legal statement against the reality of their bank data. Linking every analytical conclusion backward to a specific page and item removes a litigant's ability to claim the data was misinterpreted. A prepared defense attorney will often attack the digital file itself, asking the judge how anyone knows the underlying PDF wasn't quietly manipulated before the analysis. The answer is the SHA-256 cryptographic hash. It acts as an immutable digital fingerprint. At intake, an uploaded file runs through a mathematical function, producing a unique, fixed 64-character string. If even a single pixel is altered later, the hash scrambles completely, instantly flagging the file as tampered. Thrive Financial seals every exported case file with its own hash and generates a certificate of authenticity. This definitively ties the parsed data to the untampered original document. This cryptographic setup shifts the defense of the evidence away from trusting a witness's word. It replaces human trust with absolute mathematical certainty. Where does this sensitive collection of fingerprints, bank statements, and fraud flags actually live while the expert works on it? Standard cloud legal tech pools every client's confidential records onto one central server. This creates a point of vulnerability for external breaches. Thrive Financial uses a local-first architecture, securing the entire dataset in your isolated browser storage. The full case file stays put. Only selected text for AI parsing and payment details to Stripe ever leave the device. When the case file finally must be moved or shared, the platform uses AES 256 GCM symmetric encryption to create a password-protected export. This combination of local browser isolation and encrypted transport allows professionals to process sensitive data without ever yielding custody of the case file to a third-party server. The platform draws a clear line regarding professional responsibility. The tool is an investigative aid. It is not a substitute for licensed professional review. The division of labor is specific. The machine handles the high-volume tasks, structuring the data, maintaining cryptographic security, and surfacing unusual activity. The human handles the judgment. The expert remains entirely responsible for scoping the engagement, weighing alternative explanations, and forming the actual legal or financial opinion. All AI-generated narratives sit on top of the deterministic engine and are explicitly labeled as leads, marked proven, partially supported, or unsupported. Nothing reaches the status of a conclusion without expert verification. The machine tackles the volume, so the professional can focus entirely on judgment. Judgment is the only thing a court can actually cross-examine. When a financial issue is disputed, you present the court with a defensible bundle. This consists of the encrypted export, the original source file, and the finalized cited report. This is the mission of professional divorce forensics. Fair outcomes require complete, unassailable information. Thrive Financial builds the workspace that provides exactly that. The goal of this architecture is simple: stop guessing. Because finding hidden money means nothing unless you can prove it.